By what you saying?
Yes, I give thanks to life, Yahki.
Serious thing. We are here again, Ballhead and the Grand Podcast. Have to give thanks for everyone been supporting the thing from those times to now tuning in, downloading it, sharing it. Really appreciate. Have to remind you, if you get free time, even this week we did a Sizzler celebration. So you can check it on I never knew radio WLOI.org. Replay is on Wednesday, 8 to 10 a.m. and Thursdays, 10 to noon. Also, for Reasoning from the One, Swan Kute coming soon. Yahki Awaken, Reason with him recently. I Reason, don't want to miss that. Um, Also, look out for a brand new For Reason from the One, Paula Herlock. Far Right EP in the description, Disrupting the Status Quo. If you didn't listen to it, make sure you check it out. Far Right, what we're reasoning about today?
Yes, I. So today we are reasoning about the concept of a good relationship. Because oftentimes you always hear people say you must have a good relationship, but there's nobody ever really clarify what a good relationship really entails and how you have to go about ensuring. And with a relationship still we not talk about just relationship between man and woman in an intimate way. We're talking about even friendships, so to speak, something where healthy and can really sustain itself.
No, I'm laughing. It's a healthy and sustainability, things that we need in all aspects of our life, right? Um, well, I'll start off in regards to when most people think about relationships, far right, and please come in at any point to add some spice to it, but it's usually a one-sided relationship. So most people view a healthy relationship in regards to all of their needs being met and doing the things that they want to do. Now, when there's, or when not even a request, I don't want to say expectation, I don't want to say need, I don't know the word to say fire, but if there comes a point where there needs to be any form of sacrifice or compromise on the other side, that's when the relationship tends to get to the unhealthy side, right? We want to be clear. We're not talking about like toxic, abusive relationships. We're talking about just general interactions with relationships. And I think we just reasoning here, as I said, right? But when you grow up, there is a dominance in regards to relationships with authority. And I think that in friend groups and certain relationships, there's always a person trying to be that authoritative figure, right? And they're trying to replicate what they've been groomed under in society, where you have one person, like you have the teacher, you know what I'm saying? You have the manager, you have the boss, and a lot of times people try to present that same structure or same hierarchy in relationships. And when that hierarchy, when their position is set as the highest point in the relationship is very healthy, but once it, as I said, not saying a relationship in reality could ever be 50-50 because that's not the case, but there has to be a give and take on both sides and a compromise on both sides for the thing to work. And many relationships, friendships, friendships is a weird thing because I think because of like some people can't deal with the loneliness. The thing I never understood is friends that chill around each other that argue and fight all the time. I never understood that concept. And growing up around it, I saw it. I saw people like they would get drunk and just fight. Then they'd be chilling the next day, and I never could put my finger on it. Because me personally, I wouldn't want to chill with a person who I'm getting in altercations with, physical or getting to the point where we're yelling at each other. Yes, we can have disagreements within the friendship, but I don't think we should be arguing blood and fire and get to the point of physical violence. I think that's an unhealthy, toxic relationship, but that's the source of many relationships. And many people chill with people that they don't like and they know don't like them, but for whatever reason, they continue to hang around them for reasons of loneliness. But just to start off the reasoning far, I just want to start to say that most people, majority of people, their understanding of a healthy relationship is when one side of the needs are being met. When I was in education, they always just speak about a healthy relationship. And in the context they presented, it was really an abusive relationship for her. A healthy relationship, the way they present it is basically the student says whatever to the teacher, he's supposed to let it ride. Now, if you as a person hold the student accountable, like just teach them about life, it's almost like you're abusing them in a sense, and like you're not catering to all their needs. So I see that a lot in personal relationships. A lot of relationships are one-sided, and when the needs of one person, all the needs in their entirety, if those needs aren't being met all of a sudden now, it's a vibe. You know, I'm not sure if you've been exposed to that or you experienced that, but that's my experience in my short life, how I observed this whole relationship vibe.
No, a straight fox there talk to talk because you have to realize that a good relationship, number one, would I say it come with mutuality. So you have to have mutual respect, and the mutual respect they can vary from said relationship to relationship, because sometimes enough people don't understand, if we're talking about like in an intimate relationship, we have two people living in our household or whatever. Some people, this is where you like to do. The person are clean, the person is a person who very organized. So, normally you can intertwine the role of them. So we say a good relationship is something where you can always intertwine the role of them, and it can bend, as well I say, benefit both parties. Because them thing they will know build relationship, and then we'll go outward to even friendship now. We can't think say a relationship is where a good relationship is one way is not same one side, but in the sense where you have to lean upon that person to get a benefit. The benefit can come from two different angles. Because most times the relationship them when me see I take place, it not really have a stability to it. And I feel like say in order for have a good relationship, it have to have some form of stability to it where you can have a particular strength and then the other person have a particular strength, and then when them strength they combine now, it make the thing even better. But most time you see it flow one way, and it flow in one way is always disrupt progress. So then me that even proceed to say a good relationship is one where it have to be progressive. Because if it's not progressive, then it only have a falter. And that enough people not really overstand fire, because it's very interesting what I said to you, because everybody always want think about for them personal wants, see? And not think about the collective wants. And if you really think about the wants or the needs of the collective, most time that are really more important than the individuality in the sense of a relationship. And I them think that too. So when I even proceed for said to say a good relationship is one where you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. But the vulnerability that can't come from one party, because remember, if you put yourself in a position where you're going to be vulnerable, that means that you're going to really open yourself for understand what take place from that other person's mind, that other person's perspective, the needs and the wants of that other person. And how you are going to really can internalize that and then incorporate that in your doings, or even accept that within your surroundings, because that's one thing where people feel for even acknowledge, the acceptance of somebody else's behavior, the acceptance of somebody else's personality is a big thing in it. That is not a small thing in it. Because when you accept somebody's personality, knowing say this is not 100% what is in your thought or what is in your principle growing up or something of that sort, that take a leap of adjustments. So you have to know how to adjust, and everybody take a different time to adjust to. So if you even think about the scope of a good relationship, you can't really, when I say vulnerability, it means you can't really do everything by your timing. You see, and sometimes you have what they say, you have to lose for win. That they say you have to lose to win. So you have to know how to take the losses. But then again, it's tricky because you don't really want to take too much losses and then still go feel like it's a good relationship. And at this now, we feel like the blurred lines, and the blurred line normally come in because people feel like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be vulnerable. Yeah, that is right. You're supposed to be vulnerable to an extent. But then there's a overcommitment of vulnerability will take place now, and this now it kind of start edge upon the line of what is toxic from what is healthy. And this we have to start separate them things there, because we can while you can accept some things, you can't accept every single thing, because then now your morality I gonna start change now, as if go into the point where the I did say to start benefit that individual instead of the collective itself. And it gonna start be something more selfish and lego the concept of being a good relationship,
No, serious thing, far right. And I've been fortunate enough to actually have numerous. So far right, not the friend thing and the crowd thing, right? But I've been able to have very strong and fruitful relationships with people for decades, And I think some of the characteristics in that is that there is a mutual respect, there's a mutual love, but at the same time, um, there's a consistent give and take in the relationship and support. So I have a brethren there in Florida, key brethren for years. And I'm thankful for him because we have a lot of conversations like we would have conversations in regards to what we're going through life and that type of vibe. And um, this is an aspect people don't know, which is a key part of relationships, is listening. All right. There are many people who call me with their problems and I'll listen. But if I were to ever to call them on the same vibe, it wouldn't be that same type of support. They wouldn't have that same type of time. So that's what I'm talking about in regards to the duality of the relationship. A lot of people that, back to what we're saying, their needs are just met. And what I've noticed that in the long-term relationships that I had, whether it's marriage or friendships, is that it's just a give and take, and it's just a consistency of being there for the person, being real with the person. There are a lot of aspects to it, but I said all that to say is this: I think one of the biggest issues is that people don't know what a healthy relationship is, because a lot of environments that we grew up in, we weren't exposed to healthy relationships. So I think a lot of times we confuse a healthy relationship with what we viewed as a normal relationship or what we were exposed to. And what most people were exposed to was not a healthy relationship. So especially with this generation, it's like you're learning on your own and you can figure it out if you search and really work on yourself. I think the hardest part with that relationship vibe is changing your behavior. It's not the other people's behavior. I want to I want to be clear, right? It's not the other people's behavior is the issue. The issue is changing your behavior, saying like, then hopefully you can align with someone else that provides that same type of energy, and you have to kind of wean off certain people that's not on that frequency. But the main thing is changing your behaviors and seeing what you can do to be a more solid person, a more supportive person, a more a good friend in a relationship. At the same time, you have to see if you're being exploited. So if you're improving yourself and providing all these things to another person and not being provided, then it's kind of what's going on here. Like Farai stated earlier in regards to a progressive relationship too, in regards to growth, it shouldn't be stagnant. The coach Farai, he said, you either doing this or you doing this. There's no stability here on earth. It's either you're growing or you're getting worse, and you're not always gonna grow. You're not always gonna get worse, but you definitely should be on this trajectory more than that one. But yeah, the changing of the self, man, when you start to learn more and understand and see, like, I think the hardest thing is accepting, well, I know what I struggle with in regards to seeing what I grew up around, and that's the default behavior, right? So seeing what I grew up around, that's just the default. Like, you're supposed to react to a certain way. And I don't know if it's in that 11 laws of Mott, that blue book, but he breaks down in regards to changing your behavior, in regards to changing what your default action is. And I think that's a key component in relationships, when you're changing from what you've been exposed to what you're changing to what you believe is a better behavior, which you know in your heart is a better behavior. And I think that's the biggest struggle, because some people may see certain things that they feel they can do better, but because of the hurt and the pain and because it's not normal, in their mind, they default and say, well, this is what everybody else did. So they just do that. And that's why it kind of continues. So.
A fox, because, say, when it comes to two things more on that, but based upon what based upon what I say, so when it comes to the measurement of a good relationship, it is a weird variation now when you think about the individual living in a relationship, because somebody exposed to, like, if them exposed to such a wide toxicity, right? Them not overstand say even if you improve drastically from that toxic particular relationships situations where you know, it that not means it's a healthy relationship, because the measuring stick the way you have is not necessarily for cheer about, which is good, which progress is good, as we say still, in the sense, but you need to understand say that is not the peak, or that is not the climax of the whole thing, because a lot of people get satisfied when them do more than when them did exposed to, and the overstand say you can't really use that as a measuring stick for what is healthy. It can be you have different stage of being of toxicity, as me I say, and you have to overstand say you can be at a less toxic stage, but nonetheless you still have a little more work to do in order to get to what a healthy or a good relationship is. You see me, I say, so that's one thing when me really want to tackle. And then the next thing, more debunk this myth of I'm saying now, timing and relationships, right? So most people always feel like, say, the longer you're on somebody in a relationship, yeah, if you have a friend for 20 years, or if you have a partner for 40 years, that means you're in a good relationship. Those two are not correlated. But more make that very, very clear. And more I know what people think about that too, but because many things to the two of them are correlated in the sense where longevity, the longer you and one know each other still in a meaning, say naturally, you know, in an idealistic way, the bond supposed to get stronger and things supposed to gel even faster because you're there on a person and now you know the person ways, the person know your ways, then you just incorporate that. But that's just from an idealistic standpoint. In a reality, enough people always tell me, say, oh, but you know, say, him and her married for 50 years, and them man they come from basic school together. No. What that really mean? Does that mean, say, there's a whole overstanding? Because if you think about it from the relationship aspect, most of the people in me know were married for so long. I'm going to talk to the male, I'm going to talk to the female, I'm going to get a different perspective. I will make it very clear, say, like, from the male perspective, all me can hear is, oh, happy wife, happy life. And when a man say happy wife, happy life, what that really mean? Because it means, say, like, to me, most of the elders, them are married from a long longevity standpoint. It's like them, they just give in to the concept of making them wife happy and then them become miserable, but them feel contented with it because them relationship never break up or anything like that. So a man say, at least me did have a successful relationship and me youth or somebody can come see me married for 50 years. But 50 years, being married for 50 years while being unhappy, is that really healthy? If you think about it, it's a good message for you sending, you know, so you can stick to a thing and you can be committed to a thing. But is it really a good message, or is it really a healthy message to say, all right, I was in this particular commitment for that long period of time, but it lead to my unhappiness, all because more have to make sure so that other party can be so happy. And then we think about a friendship where I go on for so much years. And can say, you're my friend that for so much years now, but what have you accomplished as being friends? Is it a case where you contributed something to that person over that long period of time? Or is it a case where you've been draining that person for so much years, but that person just don't want to cut you off for so much years? So we have to look into them whole type of thing. And meeting say it's a case where we are debunk that as a myth for say, boy, the longer in a relationship, the more healthier it is. Because I really feel like say it correlated. There are instances where it make a whole heap of sense, but I feel like it's something where we can generalize and say the longer ones in a relationship, it means say it is healthy. Because commitment is one thing, but if you're committed to the wrong mission, believe me, that's a whole heap of judgment.
No, serious thing, and I just want I want to go back into the something right because I had this personal experience. Being that the average human being is miserable, we can't really look to others for the example of marriage, right? I think you have to find like a unique group that kind of got a decent vibe. I think that, you get what I'm saying? It's just like, you can't, it's just not a good example. And I think you shouldn't base it off of that. Because if I was to base marriage off of what I've been exposed to marriage, then I wouldn't have got married. You get what I'm saying? Because just like it was not a good example that I saw. So I think that discourages a lot of people based on like, based on what they grew up around, or based on what they saw. And that doesn't necessarily have to be your reality. Has to be a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? A lot of compromise, but it doesn't have to be your reality. And I think anyone who actually thinks about getting married instead of getting married for all the hoopla and all the whatever to get married for, actually think about like being with a person for the duration of time. If you were to observe your environment and the statistics that they always throw out, it would be discouraging to even do it. But I don't think that, as I said, all right, you see with relationships, like every aspect of our life, we're taught, or some are taught, that work needs to be put into it but that same effort and consistency is not put into your personal growth and relationships. So like if you have a job, you'll go every day. So whether you work or not, the fact that you're there every day in that environment, there is a level of consistency, right? And we know the job thing is more of a survival thing, and a lot of people struggle to have that same consistency in their personal life. But say, you do the work, say you even work out, or say, you have a hobby that you do consistently. We don't put that same energy and effort into our personal development and our relationships. One of the reasons is probably because you probably the monetary gain is not there and you won't get praise. And I notice the things that benefit you the most, you won't get praise for. You won't get public praise, but those are the things you put the most effort in because those are like benefits you the most. But yeah, we're not taught to put any effort. I had to learn that you have to put effort into relationships. The thing's just not gonna happen, bro. As you said earlier, you have to make yourself vulnerable. Uh, uh, communication, all those type of vibes. But it's like that's something I have to learn. It's something I'm still learning. So that effort, and I said all that to say, if you're in a relationship and the effort is not there, it's just like, all right, then maybe it's time to move on, and don't be afraid to cut people off. I think like some of these, I don't understand. Like I'll see people that quote unquote have a friend, and when the person's not around, they just bashing the person. So like, why are you even interacting with this person? It's it's not even like a one out. This supposedly their key bridge and their key sister, and they just going on and on. So it's like, why are you around this person if you feel like this around this person? If they're annoying you so much, why are you interacting with this person? It's not like a marriage vibe fire, like about friendship, where it's just whatever, right? So I don't know, man. I just think the gist of the thing is that one, um, people need to be truthful with themselves and what do you bro? What partner are you in the relationship? Are you the one draining out the energy? You the one providing too much energy? Then you just got to figure out the movement. Some people some people just like to be exploited, bro. There's a theory, the Anunnaki with the theory that the beings from outer space came to Egypt and yeah, right. I started thinking because I think like the more I learn about humans, it sound away still, right? But it seems like humans want to be governed by a stronger power, and like it's like they want to be exploited. Yeah, it's like a lot of humans want to be taken. It sounds away, but it's like they want to be taken advantage of. And a person would stay with a person that's taking advantage of more than a person that's treating them properly. And this is friendships, relationships. I don't know if this is just a self-worth thing. I don't know what's going on, but it seems to be the case, man. It seems the worse you treat people, the more they stay around.
Sometimes it's a case of how most people even see themselves, or if enough people feel like them deserving to, because it really boils down to a case where enough people just not feel say them deserving of even something better than that, and same what me did say earlier is like what them see around them and what them overstand from what a relationship is. So sometimes everybody have seen fair. Everybody born with a moral compass, It's not like say moral compass is a thing where have to be thrown out and given. Everybody born with it. So you see based on the moral compass that where one's born with, them use the moral compass that where them born with, plus where them get exposed to, and that determine which part them fall upon the relationship like that. And that happen occurring at most times. Yeah, so you combine the two of them, so comes you get where they talk about. Cause if I want to feel them deserving enough, I wanna say no, say no, me have to do this, or them probably put a 1 and 2 protocols into place. Try them 1 and 2 protocols, yeah, I then use it as a measuring stick and say, see if me put them protocols into place and things not work out, then me have to move on for improvement, me have to move on for sanity, me have to move on for progress. And then now you have someone now we just whatever them they get exposed to alone, it control them life. So you realize you have different human being and them personality, them personality vary so much that it make them realize, yo, might as well me just continue with the situation, because you see if me not continue with the situation, wonder if wonder if me can go start over and strive, you know, or if me can go leave this and this happening. So you see the possibility of if is a thing where just govern the mind and then the mind spend all 20 years I wonder if, you know. So while you are so wait, or the person that end up in a still in a situation. It's just that the person deep in the meditation and still and I wonder if, because everybody always up in them brain more while enough. If you realize a lot of people into them head so much. Because sometimes one time we feel like enough people are falter, you know. Them not just falter just because them want falter, you know. It's a very weird thing. We know that sometimes we beat the one them from finish sharp enough, but sometimes it seems like a lot of people really living at them head. And when them living at them head so much, it causes them for in a certain situations will not benefit them much longer because them have to think about it. They them say overthinking. Yeah, them have to think about it. Is it right? Is it wrong? All of them type of things. Sometimes it's just that the person. I'm gonna put it like this now. Them impulse, I control them, but from a general standpoint, them don't want to be impulsive. So them don't want to be impulsive, but them impulse I control them in the sense where them impulse too slow. So you know when I'm saying impulsive, they must say probably you just react without thinking. So because most people don't want to be impulsive, them slow down the impulse, but then them start overthink it so much that they them stuck in a stagnant manner for a couple of while without making enough move. And by the time them even catch themselves, I say them, yo, I really didn't make a move. Certain time pass by, you done that already. You can't come out. You can come out, but if you come out at this particular time, there's more things at stake. So you see me I say it's like certain things just starts transpire in the midst of that now, and as succumbs they get to it. We have what they talk about.
No, serious thing for all right. And I don't know, man. I just in regards to relationships, man, I just think that you need to figure out to be the best person you can. Right. And if you have to keep your antennas up, and if you feel that you're being exploited, that a relationship is too one-sided or too lopsided, not saying that relationships shouldn't have any form of compromise, but if it's just out of hand where you're putting all your energy and no energy is being reciprocated, it's okay to cut it off. You can have a conversation with the person, but then you have to be willing to accept that the person's not willing to or even capable of providing what you need on your side, you know, and you'll have to keep it moving and grooving. But and also too, man, it's like you need to search out too. This is for like boyfriend girlfriend relationships or marriage. Don't base relationships off toxic relationships you've been exposed to, right? I think you have to be um, vigilant in finding a healthy relationship, not a like yeah, you have to find a healthy relationship and talk to those people because even by speaking to those people, they can tell you the ups and downs and how they got through it versus just seeing the downs and not receiving information to get through it, right? Because you have to be very careful of even who you talk to about your relationships and also what you're basing relationships off of. So you can't see one crazy couple and say, oh, that's it, I'm never getting married. And like, that's not the case because there are many good marriages out there, right? Very good marriages out there, a lot of good friendships out there, but we tend to focus on the negative and the negative gets highlighted. So it's like this whole, you know, end of the world vibe and this, and that's just not the case. And also too, what I've learned is you may have to change your whole energy because the type of person that you're attracting and you find yourself around has a lot to do with you yourself. So there's probably a lot in you that needs to change to find the type of person or the type of people that you want to be around you. You know, we have to also factor that in because sometimes people want sometimes people want something different, right? But you're just not attracted that at the moment, and you got to figure out why. You got to figure out why you're consistently around these certain type of people, or why you find yourself around these certain type of people, or why you yourself are going around these type of people. So you either got to change something in there, change your social environment or something, but something needs to change to be around a different type of person. So we have to acknowledge, I know it's accountability, a word people don't want to hear, but you have to be accountable for your role and the type of person that you're with, the type of lady that you attract, the lady's type of dude that you attract. Because it's like something there, right? And if you grow out of that, then you just got to make a move. You know, if you grow out like you with somebody, y'all grow out. It's a harsh conversation, but I don't know. It's like these little turtles in shells. Like you got these crabs, you gotta change the shell, yeah. It's gonna die. You know?
And the party, nobody no really want build too much in the party, because the party, them free in the party, you know, fam. I tell you, in the party, because people make it seem like, say, your growth, is not something where is important, because you have overstands in a fire, you have directions in a life, and everybody have directions in a life, fire. And if your direction, if a relationship is counterproductive towards the direction where you want to go, you have to make a decision. Do you want to make a U-turn, or do you want to continue driving towards your particular destination? And if that thing is going to stop you from driving towards your destination, well, you have to consider it. I tell us you have to cut it off, but probably you have to change something. Probably the car have too much weight tonight. You have to go stop and chew some of the weight in the car and keep driving, and nobody look back about them there, because the car more light. I know, so yeah, but you have different ways now. You have channel and make sure say it now oppose your particular growth or the mission where you are trying to accomplish. That's very, very important, and it don't mean say you're supposed to weep and moan about growing, because growing is very important. You see me I say? And if anything stop your growth, best believe say you have to do something about it, because it's not going to be prosperous if you do not do something about it. And sometimes doing something about it means say you just have to cut it off. That's the reality.
Nah, big time, man. And well, I don't know. Hope someone learns something from the reasoning, you know. And just kind of, as I said, see how things are. If it's one-sided, it's oversided, and make the moves you got to do. We give thanks for everyone tuning in. If you get free time, make sure you check us out. I Never Knew Radio. We're spinning WLOI.org. Sundays 9 to 11, Wednesdays 8 to 10, sorry, and Thursdays 10 to noon. Make sure to check out New Reasons there, iNeverKnewTV.com. Also, music from the one Autarchii, link in the description. EP, Disrupting the Status Quo.